Welcome. My name is Chris Boyk. I'm the Immediate Past District Director for District 54 for the year 2020-2021, which means I was the District Director for District 54 in the year 2019-2020. For anyone who's familiar with what happened that year, not pleasant things, and I just wanted to talk about my experience as a district leader to potential leaders in the world who might be interested in understanding what you're going to go through in the 3 trio positions. My journey personally took me directly to program quality director, but I had been an area director and a division governor prior to being the district director and the program quality director and the immediate past district director. There's a lot of things on your plate when you take over a position as a district officer, especially in the trio. You have to come up with a budget. The new officers have to be certified. However your district handles it. Some people elect all of the area directors. You're required to elect the division directors and the trio into a district position at the district council meeting the previous year. You also have a budget and a district success plan you have to come up with. These are very long documents that outline what your strategy is for how you're going to tackle this year as a district. And Toastmasters was playing with the idea of having a multi-year district success plan. Unfortunately, due to issues related to a certain thing that happened in the year 2020, that plan has basically been scrapped. Your budget is got to be approved by both Toastmasters International now and your district, which is extremely important that it is correct. Our district annually for years ensured that we had district finance approve our budget before we submitted anything to the district. The advantage is now that you can't make too many modifications after district finance helps you out with the district budget. The success plan, though, needs to be an ever-changing document. It is going to constantly be updated, and don't be afraid for it to be constantly updated, because one month you may have a global pandemic that comes out of nowhere. You may also have a wonderful event that happens in your district. You may have a corporation with 5 locations want to start a club in each one of those 5 locations. That's something that you need to account for. And very few districts can forecast accurately who new clubs are going to come from. So this is why your district success plan has to be well publicized and a living document that's constantly changing. Your club success plans that you get from the clubs need to reflect what's going on at the area, division, and the district level as well. Key trick that a past international director told me: what you do as a trio member doesn't matter in that year. It's all about what happens in the clubs. And that is a very true statement. You have to influence the clubs. As the district director, your job, if you choose to do it correctly, means that you are contacting at least once each and every club in your district. Now, you could have a small district with just 40 or so clubs, or you could have a massive district which needs to separate into multiple districts with 200 plus, 300 plus clubs in it. Doesn't matter. You are the leader. You need to reach out to each and every club and understand the mentality of what's going on in those clubs. That way you can understand what's going on in your district. The clubs mean success for your district, one way or another. Whether or not you see that is up to you. I know plenty of district directors who never called, never talked to a single person in their district in the clubs. And that scared the bejesus out of me. For me, I did contact as many clubs as I possibly could. I emailed them on a regular basis, especially when the pandemic hit. And our district had to pivot to be virtual. Most clubs right now are operating either virtually or they're operating in person, depending on where you are in the world, which is a wonderful opportunity. But keep in mind that you may have to change your strategy, which is why that district success plan is so important to be an ever-evolving document. Some other things to note. You have to come up with district training twice a year. Now, Toastmasters is going to control that for you. It can be virtual like it is right now, or it could be in person in a specific region or at the international convention, depending on what happens going forward post-pandemic circumstances. Whichever way it happens to be in the future, when you watch this, take advantage of the opportunity to talk with as many district leaders around the world, club growth directors, program quality directors, district directors, region advisors, international directors, heck, the second vice president-elect, the first vice president-elect, every single candidate running, the president-elect of Toastmasters International, and the international president themselves and the immediate past president. And when you find someone who is a past international president, talk with them. They will be able to help you out with such great insight, because every single one of those individuals was in your job as the district director. They all understand how hard it is. And oh, by the way, no matter what in the future you watch this, they are doing a sigh of relief that they are not in your job right now, because they know how hard things are changing, how hard evolution is hitting in the Toastmasters world, especially the international director candidates and the international directors throughout the world, the board of directors for Toastmasters. This is a hard item for most people to also understand, but you got it a lot when you were in trio training, which is the district is just an extension of world headquarters. You have to match what they are doing. That doesn't necessarily mean that you can't disagree with what they're saying. And in fact, if you are very intelligent, you will disagree with some of the things that don't make sense for your district, because after all, you should be pushing back on certain things. If you don't push back, no one will. And I would highly encourage you to question your international director, question your region advisor, and talk with world headquarters about changes that are coming down the pike that don't make sense to you, or to people in your district, or that people in your district are looking at going, I can't believe that they're actually doing something like this. You are an advocate as a trio member to be that go-between, middle-level management per se, between world headquarters, the clubs in your district. Work in the best interest of both, but work towards helping your clubs as well. I highly encourage that. With training, the international flair that you get from working with literally hundreds of other district officers from around the world is a wonderful experience. I personally have met people from China, Thailand, Japan, Korea, 3 districts in Australia, New Zealand, Brazil, Europe, multiple different countries, including Germany, the UK, Africa. It is a wonderful opportunity. Talk with anyone that you meet, because each and every person that you meet as a trio member in a trio training session, these people are your peers. And by the way, we all share the same thing in common. Every single human being that is in that training session, no matter where in the world you are, is a Toastmaster. I'm wearing my Toastmaster shirt. You have something in common with each and every one of them. Make relationships, keep in contact with them. Send an email every so often asking a district director in some other part of the world, what's going on over there? What is making your district successful? Don't just be country specific or region specific. If you're in the US, talk with people all around the world. If you're in Australia, talk with everyone other than the other Australian districts. Talk with others outside of the Chinese districts. It's so vitally important that you do that because it builds relationships. And by the way, if you ever plan on running for international director, talking to the club growth directors and the program quality directors as a district director means that you're potentially talking to the district directors when you are running for ID. And having a global presence, a global knowledge, and people be aware of you in those other regions is extremely important if you're going to run for the board of directors. That's not the reason why I'm creating this video. I'm letting you know some best practices that I felt I needed to learn and that I felt that I did do extensively when I was a district director. Another thing that you're going to need to think about, and think about it very, very hard, is the development of your leadership team. Who is going to be a future leader in your district? Spoilers, in most districts, Toastmasters expects the immediate past district director to be in charge of the district leadership committee. Now, your district may have some changes to that policy. You may have a different tradition as to who is going to be the DLC chair, the district leadership committee chair, but you need to start thinking about who in your district do you want as a club growth director, a division director, an area director, or any other position that your district elects. Some districts only elect the top 3 plus all the division directors. Some elect the public relations manager as well. And you know what your district actually does. But keep in mind who you would like to run for these different district officer positions, because the development of their leadership will be the future leadership of your district. Now, in some districts, we no longer have a fall conference. And a lot of districts ended up not having an annual conference as a result of the pandemic. But what you need to think about is who was best in your district and how do you thank them for your time when you're done at the end of the year, when you're the immediate past district director, or at the end of your district director year, depending on how your district handles that. That's a vitally important thing, and you should be thinking about who has helped you the most. Did you get a new website in place for your district? Honor the person who was the person who put together that website. Did you have a very successful PR campaign? Honor those who help out. If Toastmasters International releases a new version of Pathways and we need a Pathways ambassador and a whole bunch of other trainers throughout your district, think about who you would want to honor from that perspective. It's a vital thing to do. Another thing that is really helpful to do all throughout the year is not just wait till the end of the year. Thank these individuals every time you can. Every time you see one of these type of leaders, thank them for doing what they have done to help out the district. These are the people who are enabling you to be successful. And at the deck meeting, call out people who are doing a great job. Thank them publicly, or however they prefer to be thanked. And enjoy that experience. Trust me, you will leave a wonderful, positive place in your district when you do something like that. And by developing leaders who are going to take over those future jobs of district director, club growth director, program quality director, division director, area director, public relations manager, finance manager, administration manager, logistics manager, all of these positions, you're going to set your district up for success now and in the future. You were given a team that was elected, and you had to make the best of it. Make it the best that you possibly can with the next group that's coming in as well. And have regular training sessions for potential leaders throughout your district. We're now in a time where you can either have an in-person meeting, depending on the size of your district, or a virtual meeting in your district. Have some virtual training of some kind where you can talk to you or a better trainer, I should say, can teach leadership skills and management skills and developmental skills to future Toastmasters leaders in your district, and ensure that it's got a lot of new up-and-coming individuals, young people who are hungry in the Toastmasters world to get some form of leadership experience. Because as you know, leadership experience in Toastmasters, if you apply it correctly, will translate to success in the real world because of the skills you gained. The finance, the training, the marketing, the networking, all of that is vitally important. The recognition program, all of this is helpful for any district leader to consider. And be flexible. Things will change. You may need to do an in-person virtual or an in-person district conference, or you may need to do a virtual district council meeting, or you may need to do a hybrid meeting where you have some stuff that's done in person and some stuff that's done online. I'm starting to see things like that happen. My point is, you are a district leader or a potential district leader who is interested in being in this position. You have to submit who will be the leadership team of tomorrow. You have to lead your district executive committee. You have to be the leader that truly helps your district succeed. If you falter at being a leader, your district will suffer. Now, almost every district in the world suffered as a result of the pandemic, and a lot of them are reeling from the effects of the pandemic now, as I record this in September of 2020. But just know that you are the person who has to lead this council, your district. And the council is very important to that. Both your district executive committee, your DEC, and the district council. You should keep your presidents and your vice presidents of education knowledgeable of what's going on in the district, especially when it comes to incentives, especially when it comes to money, when it comes to what's going on in the district store or district training events or other types of events that are going on in your district. Your district executive committee, made up of the area directors, the division directors, and the top 7, should meet as regularly as your district meets. Some districts meet quarterly or biannually. Many districts meet monthly. You need to have a good understanding as a result of that, at least a basic rudimentary understanding of Robert's Rules of Order or whatever it is that your district runs and operates its meetings under. I know in some countries, Robert's Rules is not allowed. And having a basic understanding of how to run a legal meeting in your country is extremely important to note and to understand. Don't just rely on a parliamentarian. This is actually a skill that could help you later on in life, especially as a immediate past district director, or if you're tapped on the shoulder to become the parliamentarian in the future, like some districts tend to do. Immediate past district director, you did the job before. Can you be my parliamentarian now? You never know when that could happen. I'm not saying that you need to get certified. I am saying that you need to have a rudimentary understanding of it. And it's not a bad idea to have a training session about parliamentary procedure done by the parliamentarian or yourself as the district director as to how to run these meetings ahead of the meetings, so that way officers know what's expected during the meeting. It's extremely helpful to note. If you're interested in becoming a district director, understand that you're going to be putting in a lot of hours. I had the saying, and my predecessors in my district said as well, that it's a full-time job that you don't get paid for. But you do get paid for it. You get paid in terms of the knowledge you gain, the experience you gain, the relationships you develop, the friendships you have, the notoriety throughout your district, at least for a few years, that you will have. And if your district is like mine, you're going to be called out at every TLI as a past district governor or district director, depending on when you served. It's a fun time. It's a lot of work, a lot of paperwork, a lot of planning, but you're running a company. Literally, your district is a company. You have to maintain finances. You are in charge of signing the bills, except for your bills. That has to be signed by one of the other trio members and probably the finance manager. But you need to make sure that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed for approvals, and that everything comes across successfully in the district. World headquarters staff will help you extensively with that, which is a wonderful thing as well. If you need help, go ask them, or ask your region advisors. The region advisors do a wonderful job of helping out. Almost every one of them have a meeting of some kind with your district on a regular basis. Now, for those of you who are not a district trio member right now, a region advisor is basically both your boss is a district trio member, as they are in charge of ensuring that the operations of the districts run successfully and smoothly. And they're also your coach. They're your mentor through the year. Lean on them. Ask them questions. They are there to help you. They are specifically selected for their ability to train and help you answer questions. Be with them, and they will be reliable to help you in ensuring success for your district. If World Headquarters is not responding back to an email or a phone call that you sent in a few days ago, reach out to your region advisor and they will escalate it for you. And trust me, they will help you out quite a bit. They have a lot of marketing knowledge. They have a lot of experience running districts. They ran a district, after all. They were a district director when they became a region advisor. Your international directors, the board of directors, are the other important entity to keep note of. Your international director is the representative for your region and all of the other districts in your region on the board. Since Proposition A in the 2020 District International, or the International Administration or Annual Meeting did not pass, we have 14 regions as of the time of the recording of this video, with 14 international directors. go to them if you need help at a strategic level as to what's going on in Toastmasters. They will keep you informed either through the region advisors or directly themselves. A lot of them reach out to you directly and want to know the pulse of what's going on in your district. It's a wonderful opportunity to be able to talk with them and interview candidates for the position of international director or for any board position. That's another thing that you get to do as the district director. You represent the district in voting for the board members. And it is an interesting experience getting to interview all of the candidates. I highly recommend that every district interview all candidates because you get to learn a lot about the mindset of the people coming in. One thing that I've noticed in my 2 years of interviewing candidates was for a vote was mostly to not be district centric. Don't think about your own district when you're running for the board. This is an international organization. And if you're thinking about things that only work in your district and you want to propagate them throughout the entire world, think again about that. There's too many districts with too many international flares. And even within certain regions of certain countries, there are multiple districts. There are multiple regions. But you have to remember that within a country, one city may have one way of doing things and another city may have a completely different way of doing things, and other cultures around the world have totally different mindsets. You, as a trio member, need to keep that in mind when you vote for an international director candidate with the proxy votes that you are given by the club presidents and the secretaries representing your district. And candidates, if any of you watch this, don't be so concentrated on your specific region. Think about the globe and what is going on in the world. Learn international business. That is one of the most important things you can do to be a successful candidate and to be a successful board member. World headquarters staff will help you with that, especially with traveling all around the world. But still, get to know that before you make the declaration to run for an international candidate position. If you are interested in running for district director at some point in time, let's say that you're a club president, you just started out, someone from the district leadership committee asked you to help be an area director for the following year, take it. It is one of the most successful and rewarding experiences you will have. And then when you're asked if you would like to go into district director or division director, I recommend taking that as well. Because then you're leading a team of multiple different clubs. You're not just going to a club visit 2 or 4 times a year or 6 times a year or whatever. As a division director, you've got multiple different clubs, but make it to every club at least once so that way you get to see what happens in your division. And then as you move up, if you get asked to move into club growth director, we'll have a separate video about that. I hope you found this helpful and interesting. Please comment below for any questions you may have. Once again, these are just my personal experiences. This is me ranting in front of my camera, and I want to thank you for taking the time to watch this. Have a wonderful day, evening, night. Good luck.